Okay, fourth graders, it's Miss Leon. We are going to work again on more comparison problems where we are offering some more examples on how to solve problems using comparison situations. Again, I want to bring your attention back towards the end in ER, like faster, slower, taller, shorter, whatever. Those words that end in ER that tell us that we are comparing. And then we also know that phrase when we say times as many as. That is giving you that huge clue that we are doing something that involves the families of multiplication or division, because it says that fun little word times, because we do like 3 times 4 or whatever. We use that word a lot. So we're going to practice today on what you would do in these comparison problems when we already know the largest amount or the largest number. So we're going to have to do a little bit of backwards thinking, because if you know that largest amount, we're not going to be adding or subtract, we're not going to be adding, we're not going to be multiplying. If you already know the biggest amount, you're going to have to flip it into reverse. So let's go ahead and get an example problem up here. Okay, so today's focus is using the multiplication or division to compare. So like I said, we're going to be taking, our multiplication portion of this, but we're going to flip it in reverse to do division. Okay, and while we are solving story problems, I need you guys to remember how we are going to annotate our story problems to help us solve these things. The story is Calvin's sister travels 4 times as far to college as he travels. How far does Calvin travel to college? So we're going to underline the question that it's asking us to solve. It's asking us to solve how far does Calvin have to travel to college? Then I'm going to highlight the key or important words, and I see times as, far as, okay? Times as. So literally, it's telling us that multiplication word right there. And then we're going to be looking at our important numbers. So I see 4 right here, and then it says that's his sister, okay? She travels 4 times as far to college as he does. So we don't know how much he travels in this story, except we do. We have this information here. We have the end result. It says Calvin's sister travels 192 miles. So this is the total amount. It's giving you the total top amount. So I'm going to write that down. This is the total. No number is going to get larger than this. It's not going to get any bigger. When we're looking at our bar diagram, you can see that the entire bar is taking up 192. That's the total amount, not getting any bigger. But we see the word 4 times. So we're going to see 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to figure out how much each grouping is in there. So instead of multiplying per se, we're going to use our knowledge of fact families and flip it into reverse. Okay, so in our story problem, it told us that the total amount that the sister drove was 192, and then I'm just going to add on there miles, so we are aware of what's going on. And it said that she drove 4 times as much as him. So 4 times as much as Calvin. I'm going to put a C here for Calvin, and his amount will be a smaller amount. It's not going to be one of the big amounts because we already have the top amount. The biggest amount is 192. He's not going to be driving more than her. It already showed us in our bar diagram that she drives 4 times as much as he did. So we're going to then take this fact family pyramid and help do our fact family problems to then figure out how much does Calvin drive. So I'm going to go ahead and write down my 4 fact family problems. My 4 fact family problems, since this is multiplication, will be 2 multiplication and 2 division. So right here, I already see that 4 times C, and then at the top, it's going to show 192. So 4 times C is 192. I can flip this around and say C times 4 it's still going to equal 192. Our largest amount is 192, so I'm going to break that up. I need to do the inverse, that means the opposite, to find what divided by 4, and that's going to be C, or I can flip it around and do 192 divided by C equals 4. Well, I want to know what C equals all by itself. So because C is all by itself right here, this is the problem I'm going to choose to solve. 192 divided by C. Now you have two ways that you can do this. You can either solve this using long division, or you can do dashes and dots. I'm going to choose to do long division. You guys seem to have a pretty good handle on the dashes and dots part of it, but I'm going to go ahead and do long division. I'm going to do that. I'm going to turn my paper this way. So that way you guys can use the lines here in the paper as a guiding point on how to solve this problem. So I'm going to put 4 here, 192, put it inside the house. Now I know that I cannot do 1 divided by 4. That doesn't work. So I'm going to hold my place. I'm going to say 19 divided by 4 because I'm going to divide first. 19 into 4 groups. I can do 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 19 minus 16 equals 3. I'm going to bring down the 2. So I have 32. 32 divided by 4 is 8. 4 times 8 is 32. I'm going to finish this problem all the way out. 32, take away 32 is 0. So my quotient to this problem is 48. I could even check my problem by using the inverse of multiplication. So I think I'm going to do that just because I want to be sure that I am doing my work accurately. So 48 times 4. 4 times 8 is 32. Drop the 2, regroup the 3. 4 times 4 is 16, 17, 18, 19, 192. I came back to the beginning. So definitely C equals, so Calvin drives 48 miles. And there is an example for you on how to use the inverse of multiplication, which is division, to solve a comparison problem.